In this video, I'm going to show you how to create and use sample data and trending. The first thing you have to do to create trending data is to create a data sampling object. To do this, under the Objects menu, select Data Sampling. If you're creating a new data sampling object, click the New button. It will give you a data sampling object window. In this window, you have many options to choose from. Select the sampling mode you wish to use. We are going to choose time-based. Select the sampling time interval. Here we have chosen to sample once every second. Select the read address and data record. This is the register for the data that will be sampled. For our read address, we are going to choose local word 0. In the data records section, we will add some data formats. To do this, click the Data Format button. In the Data Format window, you'll want to click New. Choose the data type you wish to use, and click OK to add it to your data format. If you want to add more than one data format, click the New button again. You can add as many data formats as you like. The read address for the data being sampled must be consecutive to put them in the same data sampling object. Your data length will define how many addresses will be used consecutively, starting with the address in the read address section. Here I have added 6 16-bit unsigned data types. When you're finished, click Exit. You may add a clear address by checking the Enable checkbox. Then you can add an address you wish to use to clear the data. If you want a hold address, check the Enable checkbox. The hold address is used to toggle sampling on and off. I'm using system tag LB9000, so it initiates as on. This will make it so the project doesn't immediately begin sampling when the project is started. Then select where to save your history files and for how long. If you don't check one of these 4 checkboxes, you cannot use any history displays in your project. For more information on how to configure your data sampling object, click the F1 key while this window is up. It will give you a help window. In this help window, you can click on any field and it will give you more detailed information about that field. Once you have configured your data sampling object, click OK to exit. If you'd like to add another data sampling object, click the New button. If not, click the Exit button. If you'd like to display historical sampling information in a table format, you'll need to create a History Data Display. To do this, select History Data Display under the Objects menu. Under the General tab, you want to create the look and layout of your display. The History control at the bottom of the General tab is used to choose which dates to display based on the number in the register defined in this field. If the value in this register is 0, it will display the current day. If the value is 1, it will display 1 day before the current day, and so on. Next, select the Data Format tab. Select the channels you wish to display and the format to display them in. You can add titles to each channel under the Title tab, and add a shape for your table under the Shape tab. Once you have the settings to where you want them, click the OK button and place the object in the window. Because it's a history data display, it won't show data in real time. To update your history data display to show the most recent data, you must refresh the screen. The best way to do this is to create 2 function key objects that will switch between 2 windows that have the exact same objects and information on them. The only difference is that this function key switches to window number 20 instead of window number 32. For this particular history data display, I'm going to use an option list as a history control. To do this, you go into the Objects menu. Under Button, select Option List. When you select dates of historical data for source of item data, this will allow you to select dates in the option list to choose the data to show on your history data display. Just input the history control address and select OK. Place the object in the window. This will give you history control for your history data display. If you want to show the sampled data in real time, you'll want to create a real-time trend display. To create a real-time trend display, go to the Objects menu and select Trend Display. Under the General tab, you can choose your trend type. You can choose between real-time and history. History will give you the same information as the history data display, but in a line graph format. We're going to choose real time for our trend display. Next, you'll want to select the x-axis time range. This can be done in seconds or pixels. For more information on what this means, click the F1 key. Click the particular part link, find Trend Display, and click on any of the fields you want more information about. Back in the Trend Display window, you can select a hold control address. You can also select a watch line address. The watch line is a feature that allows you to pull up information on the trend display for the data being sampled at that point. For each consecutive channel, use consecutive registers starting with the register in the watch line address. For example, channel 0 would be located in local word 89. Channel 1 would be local word 90, and so on. These can then be displayed on your window using a numeric display object. Under the Trend tab, you can select the format for your trend display object. Under the Channel tab, select the channels that you wish to display. In this particular trend display object, I've chosen to display the first 4 channels of the data sampling object. Under the Channel section, you can select the limits for your y-axis. You'll need to do this individually for each channel. You can also choose to use the dynamic limits. This allows you to change the limits within the project. The address assigned will be your 0 limit, and the next consecutive address will be your span limit. For more information on how to use the new trend display object, click the Help button at the bottom. Back in the Trend Display Object window, you can select the shape to use for your trend display. Click OK and place the object on the window. As a real-time trend display, it will display the information in real time. If you were to use a historical trend display, you would need to refresh it to display the most recent data in the same fashion you would refresh the historical data display. Now we'll conduct an offline simulation so I can show you how the different objects work. Using the history control for the history data display object, I can display data for specific days. Now in this project, it won't automatically start sampling. You have to click the Start Sampling button. This button toggles the data sample object's hold address. On the left here, I've displayed the data being sampled using numeric display objects. Now that we have been sampling, we can click the Refresh button and it will display the information we have been sampling. Notice how the sample number in the history data display is 390. Now if we click the Refresh Data Table button, it refreshes our table and we can see more recent data that's been sampled. If we go to our trend display, we can begin to get a graph for our data. This data is being displayed in real time. If you had chosen a historical trend, this would not be the case. If I click on the graph, it gives me a watch line and then writes the values for the channels in the corresponding watch line addresses. This information is being displayed here in a numerical display object. The Hold button toggles the hold address for the trend display and stops the graph from drawing, but the data is still being sampled. If you toggle the Hold button off, it will draw all the data up to the current point. On the other hand, if you click the Stop Sampling button, which is the hold address for the data sampling object, it stops all sampling altogether. If I begin sampling again, the graph will jump to the current time, but there will be no data sampled. It just connects the values with a straight line. Now I've covered the main features that can be used for data sampling and trending. For more information, visit our website. Under the Support Center tab, you'll find technical notes, sample projects, and a video center to give you an idea of the features we offer and what the Maple Systems HMI can do for you.